Hey everybody, welcome back to Frag-RANTS. So this channel was built for basically the beginner into the fragrance world. A lot of people know about cologne and perfume and they just go into a store and they pick something that smells good and that's it. This is more for the person that's getting into the game a little more, starting to take an interest in what types of fragrances there are, that kind of thing, where to go as far as direction, as to what styles, what type of seasons to wear things. So the channel is basically geared towards more towards the beginner. So I wanted to do a quick video, a little bit different, no reviews or anything, just a breakdown of fragrance terms that we may hear that you might think, what the heck does that mean? Like sillage, gourmand. I want to do a quick visual video of what these terms mean with examples. So thanks for joining, and let's take a look. All right, let's jump in from the beginning. The nose, the person who creates the fragrance. So they'll receive a brief from the house asking for a certain type of fragrance, a certain feel, a certain mood, whatever it may be. And the nose or the perfumer will create that fragrance from their knowledge of chemistry and notes and ingredients. And they will combine all those to make whatever type of fragrance is requested. So moving to notes, this is the single element of a fragrance, the building block, if you will. So there's different types of notes. We'll get into that in a second, top, middle, and base notes. But some common notes, some popular notes include vetiver, patchouli, and also sandalwood, which is very popular and makes an appearance in a multitude of fragrances. So your top notes, these are usually the ones that you smell initially when you first spray the fragrance on you. They tend to be made of a lighter molecule. A lot of times they include citrus notes and they tend to disappear as very quickly as well. So some common top notes include, like I said, citruses. You'll have mandarin orange, you'll have lemon, grapefruit, bergamot, also ginger and pink pepper. So after your top notes dissipate, you'll come down to your middle notes. And we called these out already. Some popular ones are vetiver, patchouli, and sandalwood. These are the middle notes. They make up the primary core of the scent. They'll also appear generally within the first 10 to 20 minutes of wear after your top notes start to fade out. So by the time you really start to experience the base notes in most fragrances, your top notes will pretty much be gone. You'll still have your mid or heart notes lingering around, but your base notes are your more dark, stronger type of notes like woods, moss, amber, musk. These hang around the longest and create a solid core for the base of your fragrance. So we take all the notes together and we make an accord. Some common accords are citrus, woody, musky, spicy, leather, that type of thing. Leather is interesting. It cannot actually be distilled from natural leather, so it has to be made up from a blend of other notes. So that's an accord. It will give you the impression of a smell that can't be made from the natural extraction of oils from, it can be anything, leather, plant, something like that. So we move to synthetic. Synthetic, like I was just saying, is something that cannot be extracted from nature. There's synthetic forms of things that are found in nature that are a lot cheaper, like ambergris, but basically it's a molecule that is made in a lab that evokes the scent of something in nature. So speaking of scents and notes, animalic. So these can be used to describe musky, dirty, skanky notes, traditionally derived from animal sources like civet, ambergris, which is whale vomit. Oud can have a very animalic side to it as well. Certain types of oud, like the real genuine oud, can smell that way as well. So different types of scents. So now we're moving into the families of scents. So this is a fougere. It's a style of fragrance named for fern, out of the French word meaning fern. Usually herbal, green, feature lavender, oak moss, woods, and they take their name from the original fougere, which was Haubigant's Royal Fougere, which was created in the late 1800s. So another type of fragrance family is Chypre. So this is characterized by mossy, woodsy base notes and generally notes of citrus with an animalic component to it. They were originally meant to be characteristic of the smells in the island of Cyprus, Chypre in French, and the genre takes its inspiration from a 1917 Francois Coty fragrance of the same name. You can see some popular ones here on the screen: Amouage and Tom Ford. Most houses have a Chypre. Now an absolute or an absolute, this is a highly concentrated fragrance oil, and it finds its way into different formulations, which are usually labeled with the moniker Absolute. Gucci Guilty Absolute, Bentley for Men Absolute, just a stronger concentration. They are key ingredients in perfumery, and they are distilled a little bit differently. Different way to distill them. An Oriental is another family of fragrances. So they were defined scents as stronger amber presence. Term is generally now taken to include heavy, warm fragrances with rich ingredients like musk, vanilla, and resin. Bulgari Man in Black, Versace Eau Noir, and Givenchy Pie are some examples here. And if you like food and fragrances, well, Gourmand is the family for you. So we have some examples of Gourmand, which evokes a food-related scent. So Ferragamo Uomo smells like tiramisu. Allure Homme Edition Blanche, it's like a lemon meringue pie. And Mercedes Club Black is a highly addictive vanilla scent. Take a quick look at some concentration. So Eau Fraiche is your lightest at 1 to 3% oils. Eau de Cologne is your next level at 2 to 4% concentration. Eau de Toilette, which a lot of us are familiar with, is 5 to 15%. Eau de Parfum, we get a little stronger here at 15 to 20%. And Parfum concentration, 20 to 30% generally. This is the strongest. Not quite though. We have something a little stronger. So Extrait. An Extrait is the strongest concentration, and we'll take a look at that now. Up to 45% concentration of perfume oil. Generally the most concentrated. A couple examples here you may have heard of are Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait and Chanel Carouse Extrait. So projection, we have our fragrances on. What does projection mean? It's how far away from the wearer someone else will be able to smell that fragrance. So when you're wearing something, how does it project off of you? How close does somebody have to get before they start smelling the fragrance on you? Different levels, like we just went over, concentrations will evoke different projection rates. So Eau de Parfum and Extraits will usually have a higher projection. And Sillage. So this is a little different from projection. Sillage is like a trail left behind you. If you left a room, how long does your fragrance linger behind you? That type of thing. So sillage is a French term. Basically describes a trail of scent that is left behind the wearer. And it does differ slightly from projection, like I said. And again, the higher the concentration of oils, the better sillage in most cases. So we've been wearing our fragrance all day. We have a dry down phase. So the dry down is from the initial spray. As the fragrance dries on your skin, the notes just start dissipating, the middle notes start coming in, the base notes make their appearance until finally the base remains. And then after that point, once it's fully dried down and the base is only remaining notes left, then you'll get into the skin scent. So once you hit that point, the skin scent is the last final phase, and you have to get basically right up on a person to smell the remainders of the scent. Most eau de parfums will give you 8 hours plus, 8-9 hours. Extracts much longer than that in most cases, up to 12-15 hours sometimes. It depends on if it's on your skin or your clothing, of course, but you can get a judgment of that by the concentration of the oils. Anosmia. So this is nose blindness. This can happen when you've smelled something so many times and so often you kind of lose sense of it. People will load themselves up with the same cologne every day and not smell it and keep pumping out the sprays, and everybody around them's choking out and they don't understand why. Also, single note fragrance molecules like molecule 1, 2, and 3, a lot of people can't smell those right off the bat. Some people have nose blindness to specific scent molecules, which is interesting. And a flanker. So, flankers. So you have your initial pillar scent here, Stronger With You. Then they come out with Freeze, then Intensely, then Absolutely. This would be a flanker. They're sharing the same DNA as the main pillar scent they came from, but there's a slight tweak in notes and accords maybe, but they have a difference to them, sometimes in strength, but that can't be the only determining factor if it's a flanker. If it's an EDT to an EDP and it smells the same, that's not really a flanker. Flanker has a different twist on the initial DNA. So thank you so much for joining us. Just wanted to give a quick run through of some basic terms and hopefully cleared some things up. Use this as a reference, and we'll catch you on the next one.